Today's song is Boblo Boat, Royce da 5'9" featuring J. Cole. This is absolutely one of my favorite J. Cole features. He even directs the music video. So here we are at the top of 2018, and J. Cole, as is customary at the time, has really receded from public eye after dropping For Your Eyes Only. Now, we talked about in those For Your Eyes Only episodes that that's a step back in terms of his ambitions as a rap star. He puts out this very downbeat, quiet album that's only 10 songs long and is written largely from the perspective of other people. And yet, J. Cole finds a tremendous amount of mainstream success with that album, almost validating what he was saying on the previous album, Forest Hills Drive, of I'm going to just make what matters to me and make the music that matters to me, and whatever happens after that, I'm cool with it. Well, it seems that that mentality has really paid off because it's attracted even more fans despite the fact that he made his least commercial sounding album to date. But the album's a hit album, unquestionably, and it's put him in a place as an artist where he's at something of a crossroads. Now, he spoke in interviews at the time of how he went to the Kendrick Lamar Damn tour and got the itch again to start making hit music. He saw what it's like, the energy that you feel when you're performing hit songs. And J. Cole, at this time, having mastered his craft as a hit maker and as a rapper, doesn't see that moment from a place of jealousy, but he sees that rather as a curiosity of, why don't I try that again? Why don't we see what happens there? And so in 2018, Cole is now fully formed as a rap star, unquestionably one of the top rappers in the game, and finally in a place where he is not running a distant third to Drake and Kendrick Lamar. He's probably still in third place at that time, but it's not so dramatic like it was before after now having come out with 2 hit albums that clearly articulate his vision as an artist. And so the real question is, where is he going to take it next? It seems like from an outside perspective that maybe he has achieved everything he's going to achieve, and that at that moment it's probably where most rappers would take a step back in terms of quality of music. And this is where something crazy happened. This song comes out in March 2018, and at that point I'm 9 years into being a J. Cole fan, and so are the rest of the real die-hard J. Cole fans. We're almost a decade into being a fan of this guy. And so you'd have to forgive us for thinking that maybe he has already made the best music he's ever made. Because after all, I've just spent almost 10 years of my life enthralled by the music of this artist. But we're going to continue to see the dividends paid from that mentality shift in 2014, and then the dividends that he got from expanding the scope of what he was talking about and expanding the range of what he was capable of in the studio. And we're going to see that continue to bear fruit. And it's not just going to bear fruit, it's going to produce the best music that he's ever made. So here we are in 2018, almost 10 years in, and he's about to begin a run that he's still currently in today in 2024. A run that solidifies him as one of the greatest artists of the generation, one of the best rappers of all time, and it pushes him to a stratosphere that even a J. Cole stan like myself didn't even imagine for him. And so that all starts on this song, Boblo Boat, which when I saw that it was announced, I was very excited about as somebody, I talked about in that Just Begun episode, that I was a forum rap fan in the early 2000s, just like how Cole was, and Royce da 5'9" is a central figure in that world at that time. So seeing Cole on a record with Royce da 5'9", a real rapper's rapper, I expected this to be a heavy-hitting song trading bar for bar. And make no mistake, both of them come extremely strong with their pens in this song, but it's a song that is so much more than just a battle rap song. And we're going to get into the themes of it and what was going on at the time, how it relates to what the music he had just immediately put out before that, and the music that he will immediately put out after that, KOD.
Cruising down the river, dancing till your feet got numb. Cool summer breeze
just kind of
blowing through your hair as you stood gazing
demonstrating
down the river
what the Boblo Boat is, because if you're not from, Michigan, which is where I'm assuming Boblo Island is Royce da 5'9"'s a Detroit MC. It's like, okay, so Boblo Island is an amusement park. And you hear this beat that is dreamy sounding, right? It sounds like your adolescence, you're reminiscing of something you grew up in, and this is then the video showing the same thing. It's like it's not showing Royce da 5'9" and J. Cole, it's showing a group of teenagers. So this is going to be a track. They've just revealed it here in this first minute of the song. From the clip at the beginning, the sound of the sample that's playing, and now visually the music video. This is going to be a song where both Royce and Cole look back on their childhood, right? Very exciting stuff. You know, I said it's going to be a lot more than just a battle rap song. Shit, I would have been excited for Royce 5'9" and J. Cole to do a song where the theme of the song is, you know, I'm the shit. You know, like that would have been fantastic. But to get both of these guys in their bag, their reminiscing bag, it's a great place for Royce da 5'9" to be. And this is such a cool thing about Cole in 2018 and beyond is seemingly overnight he has gone, and this is what happens to all of us. You seemingly overnight go from being a young buck to looking around and being like, oh shit, I'm a father and I have a career and I have responsibilities. And you know what? I actually can, now these memories that I have of my childhood and adolescence, I'm seeing them through a completely different lens. Maybe I don't even feel the emotions that I felt at that time, so I'm seeing it with a different set of eyes. And this is, you know, something that Royce is obviously going to be capable of as being an artist that's probably 10-ish years older than Cole. So it wasn't a surprise at the time that, you know, Royce could make a track like this. J. Cole, it's like how far back can J. Cole reach at the age that he's at? We're about to find out.
Smooth FM.
Here's Royce da 5'9".
Compared to our family trips, my uncle shook hands with the manly grip. All this hand-me-down shit I had.
So he's just painting the picture early. Royce is. Hey, Royce da 5'9", the first rapper. On one of my J. Cole reactions where his verse is like, I gotta look into Royce's verse too. But yeah, he's just painting the picture of being on the Boblo Boat, right? Nothing could compare to the family trips. My uncle shook hand with the manly grip. All this hand-me-down shit had an uncanny fit. So he's basically, you know, he's a kid here. He's talking about those family trips to Boblo Island. His uncle's there, right? His uncle's there with the manly grip. And if his uncle has a manly grip, that means Royce da 5'9" does not. So he's a boy here wearing that hand-me-down clothes.
Had an uncanny fit. All the gangsters I had in my family had me annie bitch. My granddaddy mistress caught the business from my granny fist. That was back before I was born. Pop told stories about it that would last for hours long. And as a family, we was just so happy when him and mama got along on the Boblo Boat.
So, you know, Royce not sugarcoating it, you know, and this is the thing we all know about family, right? And the beautiful thing about family is the unconditional love you have as a family is he's talking about something with a smile on his face, a grin on his face, of, you know, something that just on its face is kind of dark, like the fact that his grandmother punched his grandfather's mistress. His grandfather's cheating on his grandma, and his grandma punches this lady in the face. And he's talking about how this is just a family story at this point, and it's something that they laugh at and reminisce at. And it's just, again, it's like it's those bonds of family where it's like even something like that is not, we're not going to break as a family, right? It's like we're in this together no matter what, thick and thin. That's what family is.
On our way to that black amusement park, wood roller coasters, crack sold on plastic scooter cars.
So he's already telling you that this amusement park is maybe not like the amusement park that everybody in the country went to as a kid. He's saying on the way to the black amusement park, cracks, I don't know what the rhyme is, but basically, you know, someone's selling crack on the way to the amusement park, right? You get in the swimming pool and there's broken glass at the bottom of the swimming pool. It's not being kept up right. So it's like this is an amusement park, you know, for people that, you know, Royce is saying like his family is in poverty, right? And it's like, but even our family, it's like we still had that love in our house. And even with the fact that my grandpa's cheating on my grandma, it's like we're not breaking as a family. So it's like despite, you know, these conditions around us that are not great, it's like we're sticking together as a family here.
Court, broken glass waiting on you on the swimming pool floor. I came across my identity on the Boblo Boat. That's where I lost my virginity. No condom though.
Yeah, he's saying I came across my identity on that Boblo Boat. And so that's where he's expanding the the lens of what this is to make it universal. It's like it's very specific, right? I don't know what the Boblo Boat is. You've never been on the Boblo Boat. We don't know what Boblo Island is, but he's painting the picture in a way that's so specific where you go like, oh, I had that experience too. Not on the Boblo Boat. I had my own Boblo Boat. We all had our own Boblo Boat, right?
know you hit me like when superstition does. Left my inhibitions, I guess, where my supervision was.
Who hasn't done that? Who hasn't done that? You see the teenage boy putting that beer in his pocket. I'd put that in my waistband, but that's just me, you know, as an ace of stealing alcohol from the gas station as a teenager. So, but just, you know, just showing the universality of that, right? Such a dope video.
First time Big Bro hit the bottle was on the Boblo Boat.
The first time Big Bro hit the bottle was on the Boblo Boat. And neither of us knew we were going to be alcoholics. How potent is that? How many of us, you know, I'll include myself here, how many of us had that first drink as a teenager and took that angst out, right? It's like you're so angsty as a teenager. You feel those insecurities. You don't realize that literally everybody else does too. You're thinking you're in this struggle by yourself, and you take that sip of alcohol as a teenager, and it just takes the entire edge off, right? It makes you feel like Superman, makes you feel confident. And before you know it, you're starting to develop a dependency on it to feel that way, right? You're not maturing. You're not going through these difficult times that's going to ultimately give you the perspective and wisdom to be able to cope with your emotions. You've just found I talked about this on Crooked Smile, where Cole's not presenting you with the escape route from your busted smile. He's presenting you with the harder path to get to, which is of acceptance. And alcohol, especially as a teenager, represents the escape route of anything you're feeling, these insecurities, the emotions, whatever's going on at your house, whatever's going on at school. It's an immediate thing that's going to take that edge off and make you feel like a superhero. That ends Royce's part of the song, and now we got J. Cole coming in on our ear, and J. Cole's look continuing this phase that he's in where he's letting his hair grow. He's got almost shoulder-length hair at this point, and growing the dreads and the long beard. It's just, again, demonstrating to you that, like, I'm in a different phase of my career. He comes in with the bridge. He's giving Royce everything here, and it's a show of respect to Royce da 5'9". Surely somebody that Cole looked up to in his forum days when he was a big Cannabis fan and Eminem fan. Royce da 5'9" comes up alongside Eminem, so surely J. Cole has an affinity for Royce da 5'9". Here's J. Cole interpolating the Bone Thugs and doing it masterfully, as J. Cole does, making it his own, making it make sense in this. So he's talking about where he is today. I gotta wake up again and I'm stuck in this rat race. Man, and I wish I could just be that carefree teenager that I was, but what was that really like?
Look, twist the cap, lift the bottle back, swig it, dig it, 10-inch rims on my mama's Civic.
So it sounds like Royce da 5'9" and me, we were not the only ones that used alcohol as a teenager to feel that confidence. Take the cap off the bottle back, swig it, dig it, 10-inch rims on my mama's Civic. So he's talking about being a teenager. He's in his mom's car right now. He's got a bottle of booze. He's driving around with the boys. You know, again, especially if you grew up in this time period that I grew up in and J. Cole grew up in, it's like it's a really common thing to do as a teenager. Shit, that's what I did every single weekend, right, as a teenager. And so he's just painting the picture of a weekend in the Ville as a teenager with nothing to do.
10-inch woofers in the trunk, to be specific, they bump rather the license plate plus the windows tinted.
So he's still just setting the stage of where we are. He's showing and not telling. He's vividly describing the circumstances. So again, it's like when he's telling the story, it's like I'm in the car with the guys.
Give a fuck that it's dented, bitch, I'm the man, now I'm rolling.
Talking about that teenage feeling, right? This car might be a piece of shit, but I'm driving it. It's mine, and I'm drinking with the guys.
Double deckers, I wanna sex her, but these keys don't come with game on how to finesse her. 5 semesters left until college, I'm under pressure. I'm not a real nigga till I undress her. I gotta press her. This was my main.
Yeah, and that's just Cole talking about, you know, those teenage years and the stresses of your teenage years that feel so visceral and so real to you. And to him, it's you know, it's, you know, like boiled down to one really simple thing, which is like, how do I talk to girls? You know, how do I get girls to be attracted to me? You know, and he's using the language you would use as a teenager at the time. It's like, you know, like, I'm trying to hook up with girls. And how do I do that? This is what I'm stressing about as a teenager, and it feels so real to me.
Concern back when concerns were lesser. Nowadays I often yearn to press the backspace button or hit return, but life is not no word processor. Most folks, I gotta press her. This was my.
This is it. This is him now taking it back to the present day, where he's you know, we talk about how real and visceral that felt as a teenager, but now he's looking back at it as a man, as a 30-year-old, and he's seeing it from a different perspective.
I gotta press her. This was my main concern back when concerns were lesser. Nowadays I often yearn to press the backspace button or hit return, but life is not no word processor. Most folks would.
And showing in that moment right there too, and this series of bars of this fully formed artist I'm talking about when I'm talking about J. Cole from 2018 and beyond makes the best music he's ever made in his career. He's showing and not telling there, and then also rapping in the highest caliber possible in how he articulated that. I'm not even going to attempt to rap it back to the camera.
Burn the cester, burn the stressor. My real life drama plus fickle niggas thinking they done heard the best of Jermaine Lamar, but that's insane and couldn't be further left of. The truth is that my new shit slap, you never heard it better. Give me a sec, I murder sectors, prefer to let you see it rather than say it.
And this is where, I'm going to rewind it a little bit because he's still in the middle of it, but this is where we've done this on a couple tracks where he plainly articulates what his vision is going to be for that era. And this is the feature that's going to come out before even KOD has been announced. And this is where he is going to plant the flag and say, like, that period that I was just in with For Your Eyes Only and 2014 Forest Hills Drive, that's now in the rear view. And this is what I'm going to be on now going forward.
But life is not no word processor. Most folks would burn the cester, burn
this
the
is it right here.
My real life drama plus fickle niggas thinking they done heard the best of Jermaine Lamar, but that's insane and couldn't be further left of. The truth is that my new shit slap, you never heard it better. Give me a sec, I murder sectors, prefer to let you see it.
So he's getting a sense, this is an intro to the Fall Off, where he's getting a sense of his own, you know, mortality here in his career, and understanding that, like, I may not have that many, you know, I might not have that many at-bats left here. So while I still have these at-bats, while I still have the passion, the energy, and really the youth to be able to be a superstar rapper, this is what I'm going to do, is I'm going to be the dopest fucking rapper I've ever been in my career, and that's how I'm going to leave this game. And he's planting his flag and declaring that in March of 2018 here.
It rather than say it, but it's spill out. I gotta chill out. Say fuck the world and never pull out. I heard it better. Give me a sec.
And this is how he's going to do it. All right, watch this. This is how he's going to do it. So he's going to say, I got only so many at bats left, and I'm going to swing for a home run now every time I come up to bat because I see my own mortality. So I know that shit. Holy shit! I got 4 studio albums already in the bag. I've got 2 mixtapes acclaimed in the bag. How many singles? How many EPs? How many features? It's like, shit, how many more times am I going to really get to do this? So realizing in that moment, in real time, I'm not going to take this for granted. Right? I'm not going to take this for granted at all. I'm going to go as hard as I've ever gone. And here's him saying, basically, here's how I'm going to do it.
The left of the truth is that my new shit slap, you never heard it better. Give me a sec, I murder sectors, prefer to let you see it rather than say it.
See it rather than say it.
But it's spill out, I gotta chill out. Say fuck the world and never pull out.
Say fuck the world. So I'm saying fuck the world. I'm gonna create with no fear. I'm going to say whatever is on my mind and is in my heart, and I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks of it.
We had no Boblo Boat, but I could note those times just like a Bible quote. BC, before cell phones, the first time I would smoke.
And I'm gonna tell these stories, these true stories of my youth and what I experienced, because I understand now. I have the wisdom. I understand the universality of it, and I know how powerful it can be to simply share what I went through. And even if I'm not even gonna necessarily give you an antidote to what I went through. I just want you to know that I went through that too. That, you could be watching this video on YouTube and be somewhere else in the world and understand that, like, what you're going through wherever you are in the world, I also may have gone through, and I might be going through it right now. So see it rather than say it. Fuck the world. And noting what happened in his childhood clearly and without compromise. And that's the fuck the world too, right? See it rather than say it. So it's like, I'm going to paint the picture. I'm not just going to beat you over the head with what the message is I'm going to paint the picture of what it was. And fuck the world. I'm going to do it with no fear at all of the repercussions or how anyone's going to react to it, or whether I'm expressing a popular opinion or an unpopular opinion, or people are going to say J. Cole is this or that. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'm not going to care. And then literally what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell you every last story that I have. Every last thing that I went through, so you can really feel me. And that was my purpose on this earth, was to, good, bad, and ugly, document everything that I went through in hopes that even just one person can connect to it, and that their journey can be, that can give them a little guidance on their own journey.
Was 6 years old, but that's for another chapter. That's for another story. To God be the glory. I made it out unscathed, and now I sunbathe with my son in Tanzanian sun rays, thinking about dumb days.
And it's not even a throwaway bar there. It's just a little quick reference to the fact he just wants to give you an example. It's a story for another day, but this is the type of shit I'm going to get into. I'm going to get into the type of shit where I'm smoking cigarettes when I'm 6 years old. It's a little teaser. That's what I'm going to be on. This is not a story that makes me look good, bad. It doesn't matter. It's just a story. I'm going to just tell you all my stories. And then he brings it into the present, where now I sunbathe with my son in Tanzanian sun rays, thinking about them days. So he's telling you where he is when he wrote the song in Tanzania. And that's why we're doing this before KOD, because it's in this vacation that he takes with his kids and his wife that he gets the sudden burst of inspiration, that divine inspiration that takes him to the KOD album, which we'll be getting into on the next episode.